The return of NHL players to the 2026 Winter Olympics in Milan Cortina marks a historic revitalization of international ice hockey. With the tournament beginning in Italy, the hockey world is focused on the high-stakes best-in-best format that has been absent for 12 years. Below are 85 professional comments regarding the tournament structure, team rosters, and the strategic implications of NHL participation. The NHL's historic return, the return of NHL players to the Olympics for the first time since 2014, restores the tournament's prestige. This best-in-best format is essential for the global growth of the sport. NHL participation was a primary focus for NHLPA Executive Director Marty Walsh. The agreement reached in February 2024 ended a decade of contentious negotiations between the league and the IOC. Fans are finally getting to see generational talents like Connor McDavid and Austin Matthews on the Olympic stage. The 2026 Games resolve the missed opportunity felt during the 2018 and 2022 cycles. Shifting the responsibility for insurance and travel to the IIHF was the logistical, big-ticket item that secured the deal. The 2026 Milan Cortina Games will serve as a massive marketing vehicle for the NHL in Europe. Critics of the mid-season break are being silenced by the sheer quality of the rosters. The tournament feels like the true pinnacle of the sport, surpassing the World Cup of hockey in historical weight. Team Canada, the quest for gold. Team Canada's center depth, featuring McDavid, McKinnon, and Crosby, is arguably the greatest ever assembled. Connor McDavid finally participating in the Olympics is the headline story of the tournament. Sidney Crosby's presence at 38 years old provides a vital link to Canada's 2010 and 2014 gold medal teams. Nathan McKinnon's speed on international ice is expected to be a nightmare for opposing defenders. Cale Makar is projected to be the most impactful defenseman in the tournament. The inclusion of Macklin Celebrini shows Canada's willingness to trust elite young phenoms. Analysts identify goaltending as Canada's only potential Achilles heel. Jordan Binnington needs to replicate his Four Nations form for Canada to remain the favorite. Darcy Kuemper and Logan Thompson provide veteran stability in the crease. Canada's selection of Tom Wilson and Brad Marching indicates a strategy based on functional grit. Team USA, the deepest roster ever. Team USA has arguably bridged the talent gap with Canada for the first time in the modern era. Austin Matthews and Jack Eichel provide a 1-2 punch at center that rivals any nation. The Tkachuk brothers bring a unique brand of physical intimidation and scoring prowess. Matthew Tkachuk's recovery from off-season surgery is a massive boost for general manager Bill Guerin. Goaltending is the Americans' greatest strength, with Connor Hellebuyck leading a deep trio. Jeremy Swayman and Jake Ottinger give the U.S. the luxury of starting any of the three. The omission of Jason Robertson and Cole Caulfield highlights the incredible depth of American talent. Quinn Hughes and Zach Werenski provide elite puck-moving capabilities from the back end. Jacob Slavin is expected to handle the tournament's most difficult defensive assignments. The U.S. roster reflects a modern, fast, and highly skilled identity. The Russian absence and Bastonmost, the continued ban on Russia and Belarus, makes this a Bastonmost tournament. Missing stars like Nikita Kucherov and Kirill Kaprizov is a significant loss for the fans. Alex Ovechkin, missing his final realistic chance at Olympic gold, is a major subplot. The IIHF's security conditions remain the primary driver for the exclusion. Russia's absence significantly impacts the competitive balance of the knockout rounds. Some players feel the tournament lacks a true world champion status without the Russians. The omission of Artemi Panarin and Evgeny Malkin removes two of the most creative players in hockey. The IIHF has signaled a willingness to reconsider U18 Russian teams for 2027 to 28. The Four Nations face-off proved that high-level hockey can exist without Russia, but the Olympics feel different. The lack of Russian goaltenders like Igor Shesterkin changes the tournament's scoring projections. Rivalry watch. USA versus Canada. The US-Canada rivalry has reached nuclear-level heat following the Four Nations face-off. Most analysts see a US versus Canada gold medal game as an inevitability. The physical opening of the Four Nations game set the tone for what to expect in Milan. Mike Sullivan and John Cooper represent two of the best tactical minds in the NHL today. The kaiju-level showdown between these two superpowers is what the IOC is banking on for ratings. A potential semifinal meeting would be a repeat of the 2014 Sochi heartbreak for the Americans. Team USA's win at the 2025 World Championships gave them much-needed big-game confidence. Canada's experience edge remains their most significant advantage in a one-game playoff. The speed of the U.S. transition game will test Canada's aging blue line. This is the first time in 20 years that the Americans entered the tournament as equals to Canada. The European contingent, medaling threat Sweden, is the consensus pick for the bronze medal, with a powerhouse defensive corps. Rasmus Dahlin and Victor Mann make the Swedish blue line almost impossible to beat 1-1. Philip Gustafsson's form in Minnesota makes him a dark horse candidate for goalie of the tournament. Finland enters as the reigning gold medalist, but the loss of Alexander Barkov is devastating. Barkov's knee surgery removes the engine from the Finnish offensive machine. Mikko Rantanen will be required to carry an unprecedented offensive load for Finland. Miro Heiskanen remains one of the most reliable and efficient defensemen in the world. Germany, led by Leon Draisaitl, is no longer an easy out for the major powers. Moritz Seider provides Germany with an elite physical presence on the back end. Philip Grubor's resurgent season makes him a potential game-stealer for the Germans. Czechia relies on David Pasternak's scoring and a very deep goaltending trio. Lukas Dostal and Karel Vejamelka give Czechia a chance to upset a top-3 seed. Switzerland's Roman Josi and Nico Hischier represent a dangerous NHL-heavy top line. Slovakia hopes for another miracle run led by Juraj Slavkovsky. The lack of NHL goaltending experience for Slovakia is their primary hurdle. Logistics and venue controversies. The construction delays at the Milano Santa Giulia ice hockey arena were a major concern for the IOC. Reports of mud in the Zamboni tunnels as late as January raised serious questions about readiness. Despite the soft ice complaints, players have adapted quickly to the conditions. The rink dimensions smaller than a standard NHL rink were a surprise to many GMs. The 196.85-foot length shorter than the NHL's 200 feet will increase the frequency of body checks. Smaller ice typically favors the North American style of play. The Wilson deployment by Canada was a direct response to the smaller ice surface. Italy's inclusion, as the host nation, ensures a passionate, if less competitive, atmosphere for Group B. Testing the facility during the round-robin phase is a higher-risk strategy for the organizers. The miracle on slush concerns have largely faded as the actual hockey has taken over. The road to gold, key dates and seeding round-robin play determines the crucial buys for the qualification round. Group C, featuring the US and Germany, is viewed as the group of death for the middle seeds. Seeding is heavily influenced by goal differential, making every third-period goal vital. The qualification round on February 17th is the most dangerous day for the favorites. The February 18th quarterfinals often provide the tournament's biggest upsets. The semifinals on February 20th will likely feature 3 of the 4 Four Nations teams. The bronze medal game on February 21st is a test of emotional resilience for the semifinal losers. The gold medal game on February 22nd is expected to be the most-watched hockey game in a decade. International ice hockey is at its healthiest when the NHL is fully committed. Regardless of who wins, the 2026 Olympics have successfully grown the game back to its peak.